This is a town that I don't really have any connection to. When I was a kid, though, I remember driving on the highway and would have to stop in for gas. My mom would always say, "Lock your doors. It's dangerous." I've come to find out over the last week or so that it's really not that dangerous. Um, but I do remember when I was a kid driving through and seeing this like smoky landscape with vacant buildings and abandoned cars. It felt really odd. And that's what I want to try to do with this place is photograph it in a way that I remember. All right, so I got this shot here of this kind of this okay looking car, but you wouldn't know on the other side of it's completely all banged up. Uh, I'm standing out front of a paint and collision shop, and you got this really old mill behind it. It's got this one street light. Now, my plan wasn't to shoot into the night, but because this city is so big, there's tons and tons of ambient light. There's obviously a lot of street lights, but there's building lights and house lights and car lights. And the sky is kind of lit up for it being a little past 8 p.m. But I got this scene here. I got to take a shot of it. Ektar 100 on the Horseman VH at f11. I love it. Kind of a Todd Hido kind of image here. We're gonna do F8 actually. And try to give it a little bit more life this time. About 5 seconds. I'd rather overexpose it than under. As I'm standing here, the front of this towing company has these really incredible paintings of, I'm going to assume, the previous owners, maybe the parents of the people who own this shop or started this shop. And it's got this really incredible wood paneling too that I would love to get a photograph of, but I don't think that that's going to work out very well. Let's get it well before a car goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one thing that I always find compelling about the town of New Bedford is that there's this like struggle between industry and community and landscape. Like it's an oceanside community, but it doesn't appear that way because it's heavily industrialized. If you're wondering what that noise is, it's a train. Oh shit, there's a guy. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. Train just went by behind me. It was so loud and it just rumbled and rumbled for so long. And we're dealing with lots of traffic here, getting into the night time. But got this incredible billboard in front of us that says a clean car lasts longer. Minuteman Car Wash. It looks like it's been there for, I don't know, probably as long as that GTO has been in existence on the billboard. So I got to take a photograph of it. I know you can't see me. This is just darkness. But there's a car coming, so maybe I'll light up for a moment. Probably not. It's been a challenge shooting around New Bedford all day. So many people, so many cars, such little space, such tight roads. I really didn't get anything that I liked until the nighttime hit. And now we've got these beautiful colors and the sky is lit up with even more dramatic, beautiful colors, and everything just looks great. And this is the time that I want to spend out here most and photograph most. But unfortunately, as it stands, we're about at bedtime for me. That's not good. All right, I don't know if this was a video. If it was, I hope you liked it. If not, everything I've said so far doesn't matter because it's probably going to be erased. So I guess bye, maybe? This street is super busy in the afternoon. In the morning hours, as you can see, it's completely dead, which gives me the opportunity to stand right in the middle of the road, so much so that I can even talk to my camera. But dead ahead are these wind turbines that are being made and then being shipped off, and then they're going to be assembled out in their wind farms all along the Atlantic Ocean here on the East Coast. And it's a really stunning view that I came across a couple of weeks ago, because this is southern New Bedford. I was kind of heading towards like the inner parts of the town and the northern parts, because there's a lot of old industrial buildings there. This side is a little bit more community. It's a lot more houses and families, buses. And when I get out at 5 o'clock, oh, there's a car coming. Oh, shoot. See, this is what I was talking about. But when I get out of work at 5 o'clock, it makes it pretty gosh darn difficult to be navigating the streets at such a time, because there's too many cars. I'm standing here on this fishing pier. Right over there is this dike that was built almost 80 years ago at this point. Before that, this whole bay didn't even exist. There's really great old black and white photographs that I was able to find when they were building said dike. And to see how much everything is transitioned and transformed over nearly a century is quite surprising, to say the least. And that's part of the reason why I like documenting the areas that I live in, the state that I live in, because even though I'm 80 years in the future of when those images were made, time continues, and we continue to try to find different sources of energy, and that's why we're photographing these turbines that are getting built. Source of renewable energy that's going to hopefully better these communities. like the sign reads, New Bedford Harbor Superfund site. So this used to be a Superfund site. I knew that going in, but it wasn't something that I was trying to particularly photograph, but it is certainly interesting to capture. One thing that I have a hard time with the Superfund project, which is not the objective of this video, but part of it is like providing proper documentation of what is happening, because a lot of Superfund sites aren't actually listed as Superfund sites outside of like the FDA's, not the FDA, the EPA's website. It's early. I woke up at 4 a.m. Yeah, so outside of the EPA's website, there's really not a ton of documentation on specific sites, at specific sites. So this is kind of interesting. Really haven't found a good place to chit chat because everything is so busy and lively right now. We're sitting over here in the docks, and a lot of these boats are going out right now to try to find their catch. Some of them have already come in with their catch. It's almost 9 o'clock in the morning now. So things are starting to get a little bit more chaotic. But I like that. I'm working within the chaos, and it's kind of fun. But the reason why I even stopped to talk and try to take some photographs over here by the port is I can reference William Eggleston. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. But since I started working on this video project around this town almost a month ago now, there are times where you start to fluctuate in creativity, or at least inspiration. You start to see the same things over and over again in the same light. It feels like every time I come here, it's overcast. And I often go back to books that inspire me. And one of the William Eggleston books that I own, it's gigantic, it's like this big. It's The Outlands. It's a really interesting book. It's a giant retrospective on all of his work. And the one thing that I always am amazed by with William Eggleston is just how he's able to capture the ordinary or the mundane in such an elegant way to make something look beautiful that normally isn't. And there's not a lot of documentation about William Eggleston. There is, but there's not like an abundance of it. He's a fairly reclusive photographer, one of the true legends in photography. And he does things very differently than a lot of other artists. He doesn't really work on many, idea-focused subjects and projects. He just kind of goes out with his camera and photographs things. And that's more akin to what I do from time to time. And one of the things that I always try to take away from Eggleston is that just shoot. Just shoot. Like Andrew Zimmern once said, if it looks good, photograph it. I think that's what he said. But that's sort of, you know, the MO is just kind of photograph anything that looks good, even if it's not perfectly composed or the lighting is the best. Just photograph it. It might fit somewhere. It might be something more than you know, could have ever imagined. But that's the focus when I've kind of hit a lull with this project, was to just photograph anything that looks good, photograph any moment that triggers that thought in your head to take a photograph. And photo books can oftentimes be the best teacher, certainly the cheapest teacher. And when you find a body of work or an artist that really inspires you, go back to them and reference their work. It will often inspire again and again, and it certainly does. All right. Time to move out of the port, I think. Might be the wrong move. This is just nice. We're out here now. We left the city because, quite frankly, it was getting too busy. Too many people, too many cars, too noisy. The industrial parts of the city were just overrun. And I wanted to get out to a place that's a little bit quieter. So we came out to this bay, and I'm currently standing on the dike that we photographed at the very beginning of this video. And I do want to clarify for those who maybe don't know, a dike is different from a dam. A dam is meant to control water, whereas a dam or a dike is meant to control flooding. This bay here, if a hurricane comes through, which we usually get the sort of remnants of a hurricane at this point, will flood this bay and would eventually go a little further north to the towns. But because of this dike, it stops the flow of the flooding water and protects everything. These are a lot of protected marshlands back here, so it's really, really nice and quiet. And right now we are in just past peak fall, where the colors are a little bit more muted and less defined. That's my favorite time to photograph, in the fall, where things are mostly brown, tan, and yellow, with pops occasionally of bright green and bright orange and bright red. And this right here is my favorite stuff to photograph. And it's kind of fitting to end today's little excursion, and maybe the entirety of this video, on something a little bit more calming and peaceful. Now if I can shut up for a minute, I'll take a few photographs. All right, I think that's it. That's gonna do it for me. Honestly, it's been quite the morning. Got out here super early, photographed in the best light that I've had since starting this project, and I really enjoyed it. I'm just, fingers crossed those images turn out halfway decent. Uh, at the end of the day, there's really not much more to do. It's a small look into the urban topographics of this beautiful city. The outskirts, the inner parts, the outer parts, the rough parts, the nice parts. And quite frankly, when I started this almost a month ago, I was kind of looking for the dirty stuff and trying to replicate the memory that I had of this location. And as the weeks started to go on, the more I just started to appreciate what I was seeing rather than trying to impose what I remember this area being. And I think that made all the difference. I stopped going to the places that didn't resonate with me, and just kind of let my natural compass determine where I was gonna go. And I think that made all the difference. You guys probably won't see half of the photos, more than half. You probably won't see 80% of them. But the ones that you do see, I hope you like. And I hope you're well. All right. I guess that's how you end the video, right? Sometimes they're easy to end, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they linger, sometimes they don't. And sometimes they just end.